Welcome to RealtyCast Global, where we bring insights and advice from top professionals in the global market. Join us for a journey of culture and real estate from countries across the globe. Today, my guest is Piero Lorenzo. Piero is currently in California, and he's got a long history of real estate in both California and Italy. And so, Piero, it's so good to have you here today. And I wish you could just spend a few minutes telling us a little bit about you and your rich history in Italy.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me. And I'm so happy to be here today to talk about Italian real estate. This is the best time to buy a home in Italy. There are lots of great opportunities in the Italian market now. But we will talk more about it during this podcast. First, let me tell you, all my clients who have bought a property in Italy are delighted. They are so happy. They are spending a great time, lovely time in Italy. And this is inspiring to me because I've been in the industry for 22 years. In the last 8 years, since I emigrated to the United States from Italy, I have been developing this new model that combines the two methods of real estate, Italian and American. I have found the best way to sell homes in Italy to international buyers, such as Americans, with safety, without stress. And I was born 50 years ago in Tropea, Calabria. It's a beautiful beach town in South Italy. And then I lived for 21 years in Florence, where I studied economics. And then I started my career in real estate. I worked in Florence for almost 14 years until I moved to Santa Cruz, California with my wife. It was the day of my 42nd birthday, right? That. And I was so happy and with thousands of emotions. In Santa Cruz, I continued my career in real estate, getting the California salesperson license a few months later. And then I started working with Keller Williams Santa Cruz. But at that time, I wasn't really thinking about international real estate. But people started to ask me, hey, Piero, what homes in Florence? What about Lake Como? What about Costa Amalfitana? So I thought perhaps I should take a look at the international market, look again at Italian real estate. So I started to investigate the way to help American buyers to buy homes in Italy. And I worked a lot on this, and my business started to grow up day after day. And in the meantime, I got the Certified International Property Specialist designation. And 2 years later, I got the California Real Estate Broker license. It was 2 weeks before my son, Stephen, was born. And in April 2019, I started my brokerage, Lorenzo International Real Estate, specializing in international transactions, and in particular, helping Italians to buy homes and businesses in California and Americans' homes in Italy. And 2 years ago, right at the end of April, I became a proud American citizen. So now I have a dual citizenship, Italian and American. About me personally, I am very passionate in many things I do. And I love spending time with my wife, my son, at the beaches, in the parks, watching movies, especially cartoons. I love traveling. And I love good food, of course. I love good wines. I love art, music, especially Rolling Stones. I am a fan of Rolling Stones. And I love soccer, play soccer, watch soccer, especially my team AC Milan. And now I started to playing pickleball. It's very funny.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
of course I love my work, and I love helping people to realize their dreams.
That's fantastic. And you've got the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
I think it's wonderful. You know, I just had to text you a few minutes ago about our when our relationship began. That was 8 years ago. And
exactly.
you were publishing in my
2015.
magazine. Yep, you were publishing in my magazine, Doorways International, the digital version of that magazine. And we knew each other, but this is really the first time we've met each other face to face.
That's true.
And it's
That's
been
true.
8 years, 8 long
8 long
years.
years. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. You know, I read that there's 65 million people coming to Italy every single year as guests and visiting, vacationing there, spending time there. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people coming into Italy. Tell me what attracts your buyer to Italy. I know that may sound like a bad question, but typically, what attracts a buyer to Italy?
Okay. I don't think it's necessary to talk about how beautiful Italy is, about its history, art, culture, food. The food is the best one, and wines, mountains, seas, rolling hills, fashion. But I would like to talk about other aspects. There is a big attraction between the USA and Italy. Many Americans dream of living or spending time in Italy, and they love the Italian lifestyle. They love spending more time at the table, eating authentic Italian food, and then walking in the historic centers surrounded by art, history. In my opinion, to be able to live in two countries, in two worlds so different, like the USA and Italy, it's the best gift that you can give yourself for your mind, for your culture, and for your well-being. And you can easily visit all Italy and Europe by train, by car, by short and low-cost flights, and also you can Airbnb, so you can earn a passive income using your home in Italy for short rentals. So you can easily cover all the managing costs of owning a property in Italy. Also because the property tax and the utilities in Italy are much less expensive than the USA. So you can easily cover all these costs, your travels, renting out the property. And buying in Italy is not the classic investment. It's more a soul investment. To be to live the Italian way, to living the Italian lifestyle means high quality of life.
I think you answered the question I was about ready to ask, but I want to go back and see if you purchase in Italy, are there any restrictions for an Airbnb or short-term rental?
Generally, there are no restrictions to use your home as Airbnb or for short rentals. The exception can be for a few condominiums where the regolamento di condominio, which is the HOA rules and regulations,
Hmm.
forbids short rentals. But it's very unusual. I would say at least 90-95% of the properties in Italy allow short rentals. And also the option to use your second home and earn an income, a passive income, it's, uh, it's keeping alive the Italian market now.
I see. What about so you purchase a home in Italy and you can live there what, 3 months out of a year?
Yes, as an
Explain that in a little bit more detail about how long you can actually live in the home that you purchased.
yes, as an American citizen, you can stay in Italy for 3 months longer on each trip. If you own a property in Italy and you would like to stay longer than 3 months, you can apply for a long-term visa, also called elective residence visa, and you can stay longer. So you can stay 1 year, renewing another year until you get the permanent residency there. And you have just to show proof of funds, but it's a very small amount, and you cannot work in Italy. This is the only restriction with this kind of visa. If you have any Italian ancestors, like a grandpa who moved to the USA from Italy, you can apply for the Italian citizenship. It's a long process, but it's very worth. And recently, the Italian government is introducing a new kind of visa. It's called the Nomad Digital Visa. It's for high qualified employers who work remotely for non-Italian companies.
Um, Let me ask you this. If just say you have your client, do you go with your clients to meet them in Italy, or how do you do that transaction
No,
with
it would
a U.S. person going to Italy looking for a home?
no, it would be impossible for me because I have fortunately I have many clients, so I can't. It's impossible for me to travel with them to show them properties. I used to collaborate with the listing agents in Italy. So we select in the USA with my clients, we select the right properties. And then when they are ready to travel to Italy, I arrange a tour for them and they will go to see properties with each listing agent. And it's working very well. We are very happy with this system. But
So have you?
it's something secret for me because it's atypical for Italians realtors to collaborate. So it's something that I introduced with the model that I was talking before. Some combining the Italian style and the real estate in the USA.
So what does a person need? I know you have to have money, but what do you need, and what kind of assistance do you have to purchase that dream home in Italy?
Yes, you need your US passport. You must get the codice fiscale. It's a fiscal code which is free of cost. You can request it at the nearest Italian consulate in the USA. And you don't need, it's not mandatory to open a bank account in Italy, but it's recommended to pay easily utilities or other costs. And most of my clients, they prefer not to travel to Italy just for the closing, and they give a power attorney to my legal consultant, who is also my brother. He lives in Como, so he represents them at the closing for the final contract. And of course, you need a good realtor with the expertise and a strong Italian accent.
I see. So,
Uh,
and you do qualify, by the way.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And there are many differences between buying a home in Italy and buying a home in the USA. In Italy, for example, there is no MLS, no multiple listing service. And sometimes you find properties on the market without being perfectly up to code. So you must be very careful. But if you work with a good realtor, good agent, everything will be fine.
So about financing, you've got an individual here in the U.S. that wants to move to Italy and purchase a second home, and they only have enough money for a down payment. So what about financing in Italy? How can you arrange that?
Yeah, this is a problem. Most of my clients, when we have the first communication, and I give them the preliminary information about buying a property in Italy, they ask me about financing. But unfortunately, getting a mortgage in Italy for a non-resident buyer it's a mission impossible.
It's
It,
just not going to happen.
it's a I worked a lot of this, finding a lender or an Italian bank open to work and help my clients, but there is no way. Actually, there are a few banks in Italy that are open to accept applications from American citizens, but it's a long, super long process. You must send them thousands of documents, apostille, translations, notarized documents. At the end, after 6, 7, 8 months waiting, they may reject your application. So, in my opinion, the best way for an American to get a loan is an equity loan in the USA. And but most of my clients are all cash buyers, also because the prices in Italy are pretty affordable.
That was going to be my next question about affordability. And I just wonder if you can share with us a little bit about pricing and also maybe touch on everybody's heard about this, the €1.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and you can give us the pros and cons on that too. But what about affordability? What the affordability there? What would that be? Like a median price for homes?
This is the best time to buy home in Italy, also because the prices in many regions of Italy are the lowest in the last 15, 20 years. Of course, you cannot find affordable prices in the center of Florence, in Capri, in Costa Amalfitana, in the center of Milano, Rome. But there are thousands of beautiful places where you can buy at very convenient price. And regarding the myth of the €1 homes, I receive many emails from people that is interesting on these properties. They think it's a good deal. Personally, I don't see what is the bargain to buy these properties. These are located in remote places where if you are a tourist, you wouldn't visit these places because they don't offer nothing and nobody wants to live there. Also, after you buy, yeah, you buy for €1, but you have the obligation to renovate them within 12 months. Usually, these properties are entirely, completely dilapidated. So you have to spend money to renovate them, to find an architect, a contractor, oversee the work from the USA. It's not easy at all. It's very stressful. Also because it's complicated. It's very complicated. If you don't speak the dialect, not the Italian, the dialect, it's a mess. So, but the real question is after the property are done, are completed, what are you going to do with this property? Are you going to resell it? There is no market there. Are you going to Airbnb? There is no tourists there.
So you're basically talking about abandoned homes that are out
Yeah,
in remote locations.
abandoned towns, abandoned villages. So it's not only the problem is not only specifically with these properties. Is the area that it's not attractive. And
I was just going to say this too. I think when you think about that, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. And I think you
yeah,
just gave us the definition of what that program is. Do you know any success stories where a person maybe initially at the beginning of this program found something really nice and was able to uh, turn it into a show place, or is that does that even has that ever happened?
I don't work on these properties usually. And honestly, I don't think they can have good good experience with this kind of properties.
I
So I
see.
prefer not to work because it's a complicated. They never will be satisfied with me and with these properties.
So to go back to pricing, can you purchase a $100,000 property?
Yeah, yeah, you can.
What about a 200,000? I
Yes,
mean,
you
is
can
that
find
within the
you can
budget?
find. I can show you some listings if you want, but you can find a good properties at the same price, considering the work that you need the money that you need to spend for renovate the €1 properties. At the end, you spend the same amount that you could spend finding other nice properties in much better locations.
Hmm.
So I can show you some properties if you want for.
We'd love to see properties if you have those available.
Let me drink a little water.
Okay.
For example, I have a beautiful property in Umbria. Umbria is an amazing region, and let me see. The location is Baschi. It's a little town, but lovely town. It's very close to Orvieto, which is an amazing city. It's between Tuscany, Umbria, and also near Lazio. It's a great location. Great, you can find great restaurants. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms on 3 levels, and the price is 109,000 euros. It will be like a little less than $120,000. It's furnished, up to code, completely up to code. That in Italy, as I mentioned before, it's not always something that you can find. And I don't know if you can see the photos, but
Yes, we
it's
can.
it was recently restored. It's lovely, and it's all completely furnished. Also, the fridge is with you can find the wine, cheese, good prosciutto, and everything is it's ready to enjoy your stay in Italy. This is one.
So
I,
Piero, it's completely furnished. It's about 1,700 square feet. It
yeah,
has 3 bedrooms, one bath or two,
2 bathrooms. Yeah,
two baths for a little bit less than 125,000
yeah.
USDs.
Uh, yeah, we can stop 1 second because I found some property. These are no photos
Sure.
of this property. Some photos are not of this property. I don't know why I'm seeing this photo. And uh, there are 2 photos that are not of this property. Sorry for that.
That's okay. Now, which two, tell us which two were not.
Yeah. Let me see 1 second.
The one with the large patio.
Yeah, this is not absolute. I don't know why we seeing this. Yeah, the one. Yeah, these are not photos of this property. I don't know why. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So let me ask you this. Can we start back for just 1 minute and start the showing? You've already described the property, but show the interior one more time, just a few pictures.
Yeah. I mean,
And if he could send a link to this, then, Amanda might be able to clip in stuff.
Okay,
yeah,
and also,
I
if
can
you could just,
cancel. I can cancel when we finish. I can cancel the photos that are not of this property, and I will send you the link. And maybe you can.
that's
Uh,
great. That's
okay.
great. And we'll send it on to the editor. That's perfect. Okay, so but I think we can move on to
Yeah.
the second
Uh,
listing now.
yes. You can. Can you see it?
Yes,
Yeah. This is another great property for investment in Santa Teresa Gallura, which is a super beautiful place in Sardinia. and this is a two bedrooms, one bathroom in a complex right next to the beach. There is also a shared pool. It's furnished, and the price is 160,000 euros. It is, I think today will be like a little less than $180,000. And you can Airbnb easily this property from at least for 6-7 months. You can have a good income. The location is beautiful. Another client from San Francisco bought a similar apartment in the same complex, and she's crazy for this place. She's super happy.
So, Piero, this particular listing right here, would it be considered a condo in a complex with an HOA fee? Is that correct?
Yes, but the HOA in Italy are much less expensive than an HOA in the USA. Also, if they offer swimming pool, other services, but usually the costs, utilities are less expensive. So I think probably the HOA is around 100 euros per month. So it's almost nothing.
Okay, and so you just went through the grounds of this property, of the complex. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's right next to the beach. The beaches there are amazing, are beautiful. Sardinia has probably the best beaches seas in Italy. I can show you something in Lake Como, because Lake Como.
Let's look at one more, and I want us to go back after we, excuse me, finish up with that third one. Let's look at one more listing, and then I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you could tell us basically what we're looking at in terms of, I guess, a weekly rate for those three different properties, what the rental rate would be for those three different properties. But let's look at the fourth one first.
Yeah, let
I mean,
me
excuse
find
me, the third one first.
Can we stop 1 second? I'm going to find it. Sorry. Where is it? I can find now. I prepared these others, but now I can't find them. And I can send you the link if you want.
If you can, yeah, if you'll send the link, send the link to me. I'll send it to the editor, and we'll do property 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I can tell you something about this other property if you want.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, this other is a 2 bedrooms, bathrooms apartment in Menaggio, Lake Como, which is one of the most beautiful towns in Lake Como, and the views of the lake is amazing. This is a furnished apartment. It's the price is 290,000 euros, which probably is like 315,000 dollars, and it's beautiful. Menaggio, it's you can Airbnb probably for 7-8 months per year, full of the time.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the stone. So we'll have all three of these links in the episode description so that our guests can, or the people watching this program can look at the listings and have a little bit more time to view each individual one. And you will have pricing also attached to those links.
Sure.
We were talking about purchasing sight unseen, and that's worked generally pretty well for you, hasn't it?
Yes. Fortunately, I started working and selling homes unseen since the pandemic started, and now I'm keeping selling these properties unseen. And most of my clients of the buyers are from the USA, and they only saw photos and videos of these properties. Of course, we were very careful. We were cautious in every aspects of these properties. We had a kind of home inspection that in Italy is unusual to have. And at the end, when these clients were able to travel to Italy, they were happy and satisfied with the purchase. And this is very important for me, and it represents a milestone in my development of this new model that I've been working in the last 8 years. And most of these clients at the beginning were skeptical to be able to buy a home in Italy, probably because they had a bad experience in Italy, maybe they have the problems in the communications with the realtors or with the information on each properties that usually are less transparent than the USA. So at the end, they bought these properties from their home in the USA, selecting, choosing properties online, viewing properties through walkthrough videos online, signing offers and preliminary contracts online, remotely, and at the end, at the closing, they were represented by my legal consultant, my brother. So they saved lots of time, money on travels, stress. At the end, they bought a property unseen from their home in the USA. And this is extraordinary, in my opinion.
Well, I think it's great because, and your reputation's out there too. I mean, what you've done over the last 8 years, you've built a great reputation. People understand who you are, that you're transparent, you're honest, and you're going to make that deal work for them. And I think that's,
Yeah.
they've become partners basically with you during the transaction. We're running out of time, but I need to ask you a couple of other things. Living the Italian way. Now, you mentioned that to me several weeks ago, but what does that mean exactly? Living the Italian way.
Okay. I'm partner with this new project, Living the Italian Way, where we are going to have almost 50 new apartments in beautiful areas of Italy, Montepulciano, Tuscany, the center of Palermo in Sicily, and a beautiful area of Salento in Puglia. These new apartments are designed to be environmentally sustainable. So they will have high top class energy efficiency, photovoltaic system, roof ventilation, other features. But the purpose of this project, Living the Italian Way, is to help the buyer to be integrated in the local community, to help the buyer to live the authentic, real Italian lifestyle with the old traditions of Italy, connected with agriculture, crafts, art, and nature. They were going to have many activities like the cooking classes, guided tour of the surrounded areas, food and wine tasting. Also, they can have many benefits like a property management, a personalized food program, a nurse assistance, and the best surprise, the best news for this project is that the buyer can buy using the rent to buy formula. So they can pay down payment, they can get possession of the property, they can Airbnb, right them, and they can pay the rent to buy until they buy the property using this income from short rentals. Finally, we got the financing for my clients.
That sounds fantastic. Now, as far as projections, when is it? Has it already begun?
Yeah. This new 50 apartments will be completed within 2 years, but some of them are already completed, are already usable. And
so, do you have a flyer or a link to a flyer? You could post that in the episode. We could post in the episode description
of
part.
course, yeah.
That would be fantastic. That sounds like a great opportunity. It really does. What is your forecast? I know you don't have a crystal ball to see the future, but what about the forecast for the Italian market over the next 3 to 5 years? How do you see things developing?
Let me say, the Italian market has been in difficulty since 2008 in most of the regions in Italy, with some exceptions, like, for example, Milan, which is also considered the economic capital of Italy. It's also one of the 3 most important financial centers of Europe, with Paris and Frankfurt. So in Milan, the market has been active, the prices have risen. But in most of the regions of Italy, the prices have dropped in the last years, and to sell a property, it takes a long time. My forecast for the next few years is a stable market, but for the locations that they have high demand for second homes, the prices can go up.
Once again, thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate you, and we hope that we can have another time with you in the future. I'd love to get into that community that you're talking about, the living Italian, the Italian way. I think that would be a great show to get into the middle of it, see what it looks like when it's developed a little bit further, and see some of the opportunities that people might have through ownership of one of those properties. Thank you, and we appreciate you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity you gave me today to share some information about Italian real estate with you guys. And I'm available, happy to help people that are interested in buying in Italy. So, guys, call me and contact me anytime. And thank you so much, you. I would love to have another podcast with you. And
we will definitely look into that. Thank you so much. And you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thanks.
Bye. Thanks for joining in on today's episode of RealtyCast Global. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast to be notified when new episodes air.